Ivan, did you have a question?
No.
No, okay, okay. 5.3, solving equations with the distributive property. Who can remind us what the distributive property is? Whoops, that's not what I meant. Let me try again. Can anyone, sorry, I forgot I had to get that done first. Who can remind us what the distributive property is? Eliana?
It's where if you have two numbers adding or subtracting in parentheses, and outside of parentheses you have something to multiply, so you multiply both of the ones inside by the number outside.
Okay, good. Can anyone give me an example of a problem when you would use the distributive property? Like, give me the look of one, Mateo.
So it's like a number on the outside and then like two numbers.
Can you give me an example? Like, fill in numbers.
5,
Okay.
parentheses, 3, x,
Plus x. Or do you want to do 3x?
3x,
3x.
plus 2.
2. Perfect. Okay, write this one down. We're reviewing the distributive property before we begin. 5 multiplied by the quantity of 3x plus 2. This will be example number 1. So Eliana was reminding us earlier that if we have two numbers added or subtracted in parentheses, and there's a number outside that's being multiplied, we have to multiply that number by both of the numbers inside of the parentheses. So we're going to multiply 5 times 3x and 5 times 2. What do you get when you multiply 5 times 3x? Claire? 15x, yep. And plus, there's a plus sign in here. We don't have any negatives, so plus. And then 5 times 2 is 10. Brayden?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So, and that's the distributive property right there. That's the extent of the distributive property. It's just getting that multiplied in so we no longer have parentheses. Forgot my word for a second there. All right, we'll go to the video. Probably not.
Where's the bell work?
Huh?
The bell?
How can you use the distributive property to solve an equation? Think about this question during the lesson. Chen is a big fan of graphic novels. Each of the 10 graphic novels in Chen's collection increased in value by $3.50 in the last few years. The current total value of his collection is $75. If each graphic novel has the same value, what was the original value of one graphic novel? How can you represent the current cost of one graphic novel?
So the question is, what was the original value of each graphic novel? Not what is the value right now, because we could find that pretty easily. Because if it's $75 and there's 10 of them, how much are they each worth now? Donnie? $7.50. 50 cents, yes. So we could do that if we were looking for the current. We got to do a little more work though if we're looking for the original.
If we let G represent the original value of one graphic novel, then the current value is G plus $3.50. We can use an area model to represent the situation and write an equation. The model represents the current value of Chen's collection, 10 books, each one with an original value of G, and each increased in value. Each part of the area model represents part of the total current value of the collection. We can now use the model to write an equation.
I feel like this is a little tricky, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let's take some notes. let's start by writing out the problem. So they have, we'll call this problem number 2, okay? Problem number 2. How many graphic novels does he have? 10. So 10 graphic novels. Except I didn't spell that right. What has happened to the cost of them just recently, Hannah? Okay, increased by $3.50. How much are they all worth? $75. That's pretty much what they told us. Yeah, I think so. All worth $75. So when you find the total cost of something, like if you've got, 10 graphic novels, how would you find the total cost? 10 times, no, I don't mean in general. If you've got 10 things and you want to know how much their total value is, you take 10 times how much they're worth, right?
Yeah.
So in general, we're going to do 10 times value, and we want that to be $75. 10 times the current value is going to be $75. I'll put current. What do we know about the current value? Evelyn? It increased by $3.50, right? So it's not $3.50, it increased by $3.50. Donnie? Oh, the current value of all of them is $75. Yes. Yes, you're right on that. What did they call the original value? They put a variable in for that. I don't remember what it was. Was it G? If that's the original value, how do I change that into the current value? What happened to the original value? Eliana? It was increased by $3.50. Oh, are you guys all caught up on your notes? Yeah? How should we solve this? We haven't done this yet. Do you have any guesses? Mateo, you have a guess?
Yes, so I would just leave out the 75 and I would determine. I would distribute the 10 into each of the problems.
Distribute the 10? Don't we have to get rid of these parentheses? Yes? Distributive property does that for us. So I'm going to take 10 times G, 10 times 350. 10 times G is 10G. 10 times 350. 10 moves the decimal one place, so what would I get? 35. Now it's a two-step equation like you were solving last week. So I need to get G by itself, the G term by itself. How do I find the inverse operation, or what is the inverse operation? Oh, I need to get some new people volunteering. What's the inverse operation? How do I get rid of that 35? Ivan? Subtract 35. Oh, I never put the line down. We could do that. Does that help?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You needed that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
subtract 35 on both sides.
Okay, now I know what to do.
The left side is inverse operations. On the right side is the math we've got to do. So those go away. Hold on, Ivan. So 10G equals 40. Ivan,
Okay.
what were you going to say?
You have to divide it.
5. 10, yep. Why are we dividing?
Oh,
This had been an issue for a little while. Sam? Yeah, right here, There's no sign, but this is 10 is multiplying by G. That's what that is when there's no sign. So we use division. G equals, Nathan? 4. What does that mean? Every equation that you solve, the answer has a meaning of some kind. In this case, what is that meaning? Evelyn?
And the equation is going to be G plus 3.
It will be, yeah. But what did G represent? Claire?
How much the graphic novel?
Worth right now?
No. Word.
How much it was worth. So you could say that each graphic novel originally cost $4.
So it's mostly the same thing that we did,
Yes.
it's just more numbers.
Yes. Once you distribute, it's just like you were working on before.
Oh,
So the only new thing we're adding in is making sure you remember how to do the distributive property. Oops, did anybody realize I missed a word in my sentence?
Yeah.
Each graphic novel originally cost $4. Hannah?
Will there be, will these questions be on
The quiz tomorrow? You may see one of these. You may see one of these on there.
And all it's
And
gonna be-
distributive, yeah.
all it's
So
gonna be
they're
on
gonna be like that, like
Yes. Not all of them though. Some of them will be like last week.
oh, okay.
Not all of them will be like this. Ivan?
The only thing that's been on the quiz is, said distribute, and what we did last week,
Yes.
that's it.
Yes. So solving equations, that's the only thing on your quiz tomorrow. I say only like that's easy. That's not what I meant though. Huh? No. No. Hannah?
What about the first lesson about the right?
That's just used in these. There's nothing specific like that, no. So it's really 5-2 and 5-3. I'm gonna come back to this example. I wanna go on to a regular example, okay? What? I don't know, can you?
Yeah.
I'll let you guys try it. Go ahead and write it down.
We're gonna do it by ourselves?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
I think you can. I think
It's
she's
in
right.
volume.
I think she's right.
Do we have to put all the stuff in? I think I can know how to
You
do it.
do. You do.
You said where is it?
Write it down. It's got parentheses. When it's got parentheses, you know you have to distribute. So distribute the -5 in. Start there.
so that multiple.
Oh, can't see.
I'm gonna write it down in a second. Okay. There's the problem back again if you missed it.
Send an S or a 5.
See? That's why I don't use S's. Right there.
That's an S.
Oh,
That's obviously an S.
I'm changing it to an X.
That's
Yeah.
obviously an S.
I have some math.
You can use S, that's fine. Mine just don't look right.
That's obviously an S. What is-
Write it down, Nathan. Get started. Question?
Yes,
number of questions.
I don't even have any questions.
You have many?
Is it 3.5 negative or is it not a
We're not
negative?
answering all of those, Donnie, but we'll answer
Oh,
these
never
ones.
mind.
Okay, first thing, distribute. It's gotta be multiplied by both of the terms in the parentheses. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x.
Yeah.
What's negative 5 times 30? Negative 150. So I'm gonna write that as minus 150.
Oh, what?
You can put plus negative 150 if you want to. But negative times positive is
Oh,
negative.
times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You got a times. Fix up that step if you need to. If you don't do the distributive property right, your steps when you start to solve are not going to be right either. So a couple of errors that I saw is people brought down the 30 and forgot to multiply by 5. Some people forgot to multiply by negative 5 and still had a plus 150 here instead of a minus 150. So a number of things to be careful about when you distribute. Once you get to this step, now it's solving a two-step equation. So I want to get the negative 5x by itself. How do I do that? It's already subtraction. So we need to add 150 to both sides. Subtract, add, those are inverses, so I can cross that out. What? It's negative 17.
I got the right answer for negative 12.
Okay. Be careful on the right side here. Every time you have to do work, you've got to decide what is it that I'm doing. So if I've got negative 17 plus 150, what work am I actually doing to solve that, Evelyn? I have to subtract because I've got 1 minus and 1 plus. So I'm going to subtract off to the side here, 150, subtract 17. So 133. And 115 is positive, so it's a positive 133. Nathan, what happened?
Never mind.
And our last step, Donnie,
Division.
by
I know it's negative 5.
How did you say it?
why do you feel like you need to help him, Nathan?
My brain shut off.
He was just
My-
taking a
My
moment.
brain was
Just taking a moment.
My head was
Okay? So we're going to divide by negative 5. X equals what that work is right there. I would say first make a decision as to whether you're going to have a positive or a negative answer. What's a positive divided by a negative, Carolyn? Negative, so I'm going to put that in put the negative there so I don't forget it. Then I have to do 133 divided by 5. 5 does not go into 1, but 5 goes into 13 2 times. With 33 left over. How many times does 5 go into 33? 6 times. With 3 extra. How could I write that answer? If there's 3 extras. You could put a decimal and a 0 if you wanted to. Mateo?
You can put a remainder.
Not remainder 3.
Or you can bring down another 0.
You could do that. How do you write it as a fraction answer? 3/5. That'd be the easiest. 3/5.
I just put 26.6.
Yeah.
You, it's fine.
Well, couldn't you just put a 3 in there to be 30, so then you put another 6?
You could, yep. Yeah, if you want to make it a decimal, that's fine. You could divide it like that. I just think the fraction is easier. Okay, finish writing your notes. That they did it as well, yeah. I think most people wrote it as a decimal. I think we should have put a workspace off to the side. Everybody done, or do you need more time? Everyone? Okay, let's try another one. Go ahead and write this one down and be more careful on your distributive property this time.
Okay.
Okay.
What do they put negative and 10 in? That's what was negative.
Yeah, I don't know.
They like that number. It's
Yeah.
only their birthday.
What?
That doesn't make sense.
Negative?
Negative 17.
Look back at the previous problem if you need help. 'Cause it's pretty similar.
Oh,
I'm gonna write it down.
is it 17?
Negative 17.
Equals negative 17? Picture.
Yes. Okay. Okay, yep, fine. Brandon, can you go down to the picture retake? Yes? Yeah.
Oh, can I do a retake? I'm gonna take my picture, I had that thing on me.
What thing?
Remember that thing I had right here?
None of my pictures.
Okay,
Uh,
Oh yeah, that.
yeah.
for the distributive property, you have to multiply the negative 7 times the g. That's the easy part, because you get negative 7g. But then you also have to multiply the negative 7 times the 36. So you probably had to write 7 times 36 and multiply it out. And what did you get, Donnie? Negative 252? So minus 252. Negative 7 times 36.
Oh, yeah. I just skipped ahead.
Okay, if you didn't get 252, off to the side here, I'll do 36 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25, so 252. What makes it a minus 252? Because we multiplied and got 252, but why is it a minus 252 here? Sam? If there's a negative in that multiplication, so we get a minus answer, a negative answer. All right, what do I do next? Landon, what should I do next? I'll even put that in the box. How do I get rid of this number right here when it's a subtraction issue? Add. Addition is the inverse operation, so we're going to add 252 to both sides. Put hands down. Put hands down. Okay, subtraction. Addition is its inverse, so those go away. The left side is negative 7g equals. On the right side, I got to figure out what that math is. So am I going to add 17 and 252, or am I going to subtract them? Subtract them because I got one of those negatives up there. So off to the side, we'll do 252, subtract 17. We'll have to borrow. 12 minus 7 is 5. 3, and 2. Is this better than the last example?
No. The
Yes.
final.
No, I don't mean the final answer. I mean, are you understanding it better than the last
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Oh, yes.
This one's going better? Okay. And what's our last step, Carolyn?
Last step is by
Yeah.
negative
Okay.
negative 73, and then yeah,
Okay.
sides
G equals. I do know I'm gonna have a positive answer, because that's a positive and that's positive. I got no negatives in my problem anymore. So I've got to do 235 divided by 7. I'm gonna go over here this time, over on that side. 7 does not go into 2. How many times does 7 go into 23? 3 times, that's 21. And then 7 into 25, 3 times again. And I've got 4 left over. So 4/7 is my fraction.
Oh,
Which writing the fraction is easier than writing the decimal.
Yes.
A lot of you want to keep dividing, which you can, but the fraction's easier. You're done in one step. Okay, 33 and 4/7 is our answer.
Going into third
Say that again.
Going into third period, no pictures,
I always keep third period. Give us study ball. Fun piece in there.
All right, last problem. One more word problem, trying to write the equation first. It says, a collector has a box of 32 figurines. So 32 little figures. The value of each figurine increased by $2.32 over the past year. The box of figurines is now worth $114.24. What was the original cost X of one figurine? So in your notes, I want you to write down a couple of things. One, write down that you have 32 figurines. You need to know how many you have. Last time we worked on this a problem like this, it was 10 graphic novels. Now it's 32 figurines. Increased by $2.32. You need that. And now worth $114.24. Write down everything I have highlighted. Also write down original cost X. That's what we're trying to find. Original cost X. Are you done writing? Okay, we have 32 figurines. So 32 times their value is going to equal their current worth of $114.24. How do we represent their current worth when all I know is how much their value has increased by? I don't know how much they're worth right now. I only know that they increased by $2.32. How do I write that? I know they were X dollars, and I know how much they increased by. What expression is that? Carolyn?
X plus 232.
Yep. So they were some amount of money and they increased by $2.32. That's the expression for their current value.
super easy, but a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay, to solve that, I'm gonna bring up the notes document. 32x plus 232. Is that right? I got all my numbers right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I solve it? Once we have it written, now we've got to practice solving. Ivan?
Okay, so 32 times x
Okay.
times 2.3.
Yeah. Now I have to multiply 32 times 2.32.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
How about we grab calculators?
Yeah.
Are you done already?
I haven't seen my calculator in ages. I can't
Okay, those of you that already got your calculators out, if you could do 32 times $2.32 for me, raise your hand when you get the answer. Jude, what do you get?
$74.24.
Okay, others agree? All right, equals $114.24. Okay, so we took 32 times x and 32 times $2.32. We ended up with this. Now what do I do? Evelyn?
Okay, you box the variable 32x.
Yep.
And then you put minus 74.24 on each side.
Perfect.
And you cross the one off.
Okay, so get rid of 74.24 on both sides. These inverse operations are going to cancel. So 32x equals that subtraction problem there. We would not need a calculator for that because do you notice how everything cancels out? Yeah. We just get $40. We get 40 when we subtract those. Then we have to, Eliana? Divide by 32. Sure.
1.25.
1.25. Okay, in this problem, what does this answer mean? What was x and what is 1.25? Hannah? The original cost was $1.25. And they increased by $2.32, so they more than doubled in price. Right? They increased more than they were worth, which is good for them. So we would say the original cost, no, the original value was $1.25. All right, you have online homework tonight, 5.3 online. Can you pause it?